Looking to enhance the appeal and performance of your gym with state-of-the-art equipment? Look no further than the Gym Administrator. Founded by Sal Corrente, professional wrestling manager, promoter, and author of the great book Bruno Sammartino, the autobiography of wrestling's living legend, available on Amazon.com, the Gym Administrator will spot you on that final rep and assist you every step of the way from purchase through installation, whether it be strength training, cardiovascular training, or performance enhancement. The Gym Administrator works with a wide array of leading vendors and suppliers, carefully selected to meet the diverse needs of your clientele. Service the way you remember it. Contact us at 914-494-1066 or visit our website at thegymadministrator.com, as well as all social media platforms. The Gym Administrator. All your fitness needs under one roof. Scan the barcode at the bottom of the screen to get started today.
So he just kept going, hung up on me, and me and Jimmy never spoke again. That was the end of it. So,
wow.
Holy.
Yipe.
All right. Let's move on to something else. Vince McMahon, obviously.
Speaking of rapists, go ahead.
You're not a fan.
No.
I'll open up with saying Jimmy.
And I'll tell you why I'm not a fan.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you.
Don't tell me to hold on. I'm telling you to hold on. Let
me ask you the question first. Let's let me get the question.
All right.
And it's all you, okay? So we're big. Vince McMahon was a mentor for me business-wise. Jimmy and I are big fans. I get it. Before you start, and we want your opinion on the whole thing. But
I know what that means. You cut that out.
Isn't this in this country?
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
No, not when it comes to him. It's not.
Well,
not in this
go
case,
ahead, Mr. Bolin. Go ahead.
Not in this case, and I'll tell you why. He was a mentor to you, and I worked with the organization for 10 years under the developmental program. Doesn't even come to that. Because in 1984, when Jimmy was considering possibly going to the WWE and saying, I'll never work for that motherfucker. And the reason he wouldn't work for him was because of the accusations of mistreatment of women, being a racist, even though he pushed Martin Luther King Day. I guess that was his cover up. Being a racist, being a sexual predator, groping and fondling many of not only staff, but girls. I've been hearing this shit since 1984. Where did I hear this shit from? Well, my best friend was Jimmy Cornette, and Jimmy Cornette was the inbox to all the rumors and allegations and everything going on about Vince McMahon. And then you get to the Bruce Pritchards, and then you get to the Stephanie McMahon covering up one of the girls being raped over in Saudi Arabia, covered it up because it was going to hurt their business relationship with Saudi Arabia. And I'm trying to remember who the girl was, and it seems like the boyfriend, it might have been Hurricane. Y'all might know more about the story, but there was one of the girls was raped in Saudi Arabia, and Stephanie primarily is the one that covered it up. The shit about Vince McMahon, I've been hearing about it since 1984, and then the stuff with the ring boy with Pat Patterson. It is a long history. Lots of people knew about it.
So Kenny, give me 1 second.
All right.
That's a great point you make. So you've been hearing about it. All these wrestlers have been hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and I's contention is, aren't the people that have been hearing about it and believe it and not doing anything about it, a la Mario Mancini, Superstar Billy Graham, Bruno Sammartino, both with the ring boy, aren't they as guilty as?
Not as guilty because they didn't do it, but very guilty for not doing anything about it, just as Triple H and Stephanie are right now. They knew about it, but from what I'm hearing, and I can't prove it, but it adds up. And my son was the first one to point this out. Stephanie and Triple H made a deal because they knew just as much as fucking anybody, but they didn't want to lose the fucking company. And somebody ratted Vince out on all this shit. Most people in the know think it was Triple H and Stephanie. Bruce Pritchard's acting like he didn't know shit. I even got on Russo for saying he didn't know because Russo's a saint when it comes to how you treat. I mean, some of his sketches might make you wonder. He's got some fantasies. I'll give him that. But Russo's been with the same woman for his whole life. He admits he's never had sex with anybody, but his wife, Jimmy, shits on that. He thinks that's terrible that somebody would actually be dedicated to their wife. I don't even believe in marriage. I don't think it's natural because men cheat and so do women. So if you're going to do that, then hey, short-term contract, let's live together. Oh, all right, I want to go fuck somebody else. Okay, good. Move on. And I've told every girlfriend I've ever been with, if you don't love me as much as I love you, we have a problem. And if I don't love you as much as you love me, we have a problem. It has to be a two-way street. It's got to be that mutual admiration society.
Scales got to be even. Scales got to be even, right?
Scales got to be even. And I've had girls I've been way into more than they were to me. And I've had it go the other way around. And it don't work either fucking way. Because now you're looking for the next best opportunity. The women are, and so are the men. If you're not that into her, you're looking for the one that you are. And it's just human nature. It's just human nature. And I could have, oh man, I had this hot ass girlfriend in LaGrange. She won Miss Oldham County. She was everything I looked for. But now I never cheated on her, but I was always looking, well, what if I got her? Who else can I get? What better's out there? I got the blonde. Can I get the brunette? Can I get the redhead? Got the girl with the ass. Can I get the one with the breast? I mean,
yeah, Kenny, you get me nervous, Kenny. You're starting to sound like Vince McMahon.
Oh, of course. Well, see, he acted on his fantasies, which most of us with any morals and restraint do not, and that's coming from the atheist. I might be an atheist, I might be an agnostic.
Kenny, very important though. Why?
I don't. Well, hang on. I'm making a point here. This is the point I'm making. We all have our fantasies, and young girls have hit on me for a long fucking time, especially when I got on television. Cornette pointed out to me. He says, now that you're famous in 7 states, which was a TV network we were on, they don't give a fuck what you look like. They don't give a fuck that you're fat. You're fucking famous. And young girls are going to want to fuck you. I said, well, here's the difference between me and a lot of people. There is an age limit, and it's called 18. And I said, unless they produce a fucking verifiable ID, then you don't fucking touch it. And there was a girl that was 16 that was hitting on me at the TV show. She was Indian, and her mother was bringing her to me. Her mother was pimping this 16-year-old girl out to me. I said, hun, your daughter's as cute as she can be. I said, I love Indian women. I said, but your daughter's 16, so that ain't going to happen. I said, but when your daughter turns 18, a couple of years from now, if she's still interested in me, I'd be more than happy to take her out for a birthday dinner. She's a beautiful girl. I imagine she's even going to be more beautiful 2 years from now. Well, sure enough, they pull up at the trunk of my car on her 18th birthday as with her luggage packed. She's ready to move in. She's ready to move in. I said I'd take you out for a birthday dinner, and I will honor that. I said, if you got your shit packed, I said, Mom, what are you doing? I said, you need to not do this with everybody. I was like, because I'm going to treat your daughter with respect. This is the wrestling business. Most of these guys ain't going to do that. They're going to fuck your daughter, get her pregnant, and then send her home to use what they're going to do. I said, so don't do that anymore. So I took her out, and we had a birthday dinner at Frisch's, and I drove her fucking home. But most people in the wrestling business, and especially the Memphis territory, are not known for doing that. They brag.
But Kenny, for someone that has such moral fiber and moral ground like yourself, I'm amazed that you would hang around the wrestling business or even be friends with someone like a Cornette.
I was an entertainer. A lot of the shit about Jimmy when it comes to that shit, I did not know until he had gone on the road, gone to Louisiana, had gone to Texas. Things were bragged about, things were said. But I wanted to be in the wrestling business. Not all of us are hunks of shit, but there's a lot of us were.
What you're basically saying, morals can be pushed aside if you have more wants and needs of something else, right? Is that what you're saying? Right?
Oh yeah, but my choice was I didn't go to Jimmy's hot tub parties because I knew what was going on there. I didn't go to certain places because I knew of the drugs and alcohol that would be passed around, and I didn't want to be associated with it. So I was able to be in the wrestling business for 32 years, not see any of that shit, not participate in any of that shit, because that's what I elected to do. Gotcha. People knew I didn't want anything to do with that. There were several of us that were, but then again, there was many of them that did not have any morals or ethics, and they would brag about how young a girl they got that weekend, and it was considered a notch in their belt. But no, Vince's history goes Jim Cornette rules. Well, if that's your type of person, that's on you, man. For those of you that want to vote for an adjudicated rapist and a convicted felon, that's on you. It's not me. I'll never vote for a fucking rapist to be my president. Those are my political views. If that's where your morals are, go right ahead. Fortunately, as they said earlier, in this country, you have the freedom to do that. This motherfucker can't get a job at McDonald's. He had to act like he was working at McDonald's. They had to close the fucking place because McDonald's would never hire somebody that's a convicted felon and an adjudicated rapist. But he wanted to act like he worked at McDonald's. So no, he can't work at McDonald's, but you're willing to elect him to be the president. He can't be a senator because senators can't be convicted felons or adjudicated rapists. He can't be a congressman. He can't be a mayor. He can't be a governor. I don't even think he can be a dog catcher. But in this country, to where we have some things that are fucked up, he can be the fucking president. Okay, all right.
Kenny, any validity to the fact that he could be, No.
Hang on. You got one dumb fuck in here trying to argue with somebody that knows what he's talking about. No, he is a rapist. He's got 36 women that have accused him of a sexual assault and rape. The judge who convicted him in New York says not only are you a convicted sexual predator, you in the state of New York, what you did to that woman is rape. The federal judge stated it himself. Anthony Scaramucci has backed it up on MSNBC and CNN. Fox News will never want him on that show to say that. I'm sorry, Fox Entertainment, because they're not news. They owe fucking nearly $1 billion because they can't tell the fucking truth on their network. So I know this is shit y'all probably don't normally hear on this show, but you're hearing it today. So you can say, come on, all you fucking want. 36 women have not accused me of sexual assault and rape. 23 of them had filed charges against him. 12 of them are waiting to go to court as soon as he gets done with his other 4 fucking.
So real quick, Kenny, you don't think there's a possibility of fake allegations, women claiming
not 36
something happened?
No, let's put it this way. If 36 women accused either one of you of what he's been, you wouldn't be doing this podcast right now.
No, you're 100% correct.
Nobody would fucking touch it.
The one thing about this show,
and the same thing to me. I mean, I have a pretty good moral background. I got a pretty good fucking record. People have been trying to find dirt on me for a long time because I say shit they don't want to hear. Right. And I've had people spend a lot of money trying to find fucking dirt on me.
Yeah, okay, but at what point does it get out of control? Just recently, last week, you've had 2 ring boys after 25 years now suing McMahon and Linda over what happened 25 years ago. I mean, at what point does this stop?
Okay, right? All right. Let me put both of you in the same place. Let's say Vince McMahon, y'all claim that he was a groomer or whatever the fuck he was for you guys. Let's say he decided to fuck one of y'all in the ass and dare you to fucking say anything about it. At what point is it okay that he fucked you in the ass? Is it 5 years? Now, hang on. No, you let me finish. No, you let me finish, and then you can say all you want. It's your show, but I'm your guest, so I'm going to finish.
Good.
Is it 5 years? Is it 7 years? Is it 10? Is it 25? Is it 50? When is it okay that Vince fucked you in the ass and dared you to fucking say anything about it?
Never.
And if you do come forward, like with women, because you're all doing it right here. Well, what if they're lying? What if they're not is the most important thing.
Well, hold on. If Vince fucked me in the ass, just say, and he handed me $1 million hours, right? To, exit only here, buddy. But he handed me $1 million and I said, thank you, Mr. McMahon. Let me sign this paperwork. Have a good day. At that point, I have no fucking rights because I've been bought for.
Not true. Come back. Not true. Not true, because many of these people did sign paperwork, but it's still rape. You can't abuse somebody and make them sign a piece of paper and say it was okay.
You don't make them sign a piece of paper. It's either you sign it or you don't sign it.
Yeah,
right?
I really doubt there was a gun to, Janelle Grant's head when she
I'll
take $1 million.
Let me play your scenario. You don't know there wasn't.
No, we don't.
Because now you're saying these girls. Well,
I said I.
Wait a minute. This goes. Jimmy, not to interrupt. This goes back.
I'm using your same scenario against you. You don't know there wasn't.
But this goes back to my original statement. Let the courts make the decision. Innocent before proven guilty. We don't
He's
know
already
what happened.
Admitted that he did it with this one girl.
But he also said it was consensual. She says it wasn't. She took money. She signed documentation. Let the courts decide who's right or wrong. That's how this country's run.
All right.
No, don't get me all right. Come back. Talk to me. Tell me.
I have talked to you and I've explained it. At what point is it okay? And
it's
neither
never
of you.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you a question. Hang on. Both of you combined, how many sexual assault charges do you have against you?
0.
How many allegations do you? No, that's charges. How many allegations do you have?
0.
Both of you?
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You bet. What's your history in the wrestling business?
No history.
No history.
We're fans. None? We're fans.
Okay, that's fair enough. But do you think 36 women made shit up?
No, I don't think 36 women make it up. But my point is that if 36 women decided to take the money instead of fighting for themselves, that's a problem.
I disagree.
I disagree. And you have a right to disagree. And
again, and I also agree, if they ever fucking get a court date, give them their court date and let's see what a jury of the peers says. Because Cornette, give it time. Trump had his court date. Bitches said everything was fucking rigged. His attorneys picked out that jury. One of the jury members, well, both sides had to agree, of course, but his attorneys agreed on every juror that was on there for the 34 felonies. His attorneys, along with the prosecuting attorneys, they had to agree. They let one on there that I would have never let, because they asked him, "Where do you get your news?" Truth Social. They somehow let that motherfucker on the jury, and he voted Trump guilty after hearing the evidence of what happened with E. Jean Carroll, and then the Stormy Daniels case, and then the federal charges for the 34 felonies. They had a fucking Trump supporter who admitted, "I get my news only from Truth Social," and he found him guilty. I'd have never let the fucker on the jury. I don't know how that happened, but they let him on.
Kenny, can I ask you a very honest question? I obviously,
and I'll give you a very honest, as you figured out, I'll give you a very honest answer.
I am obviously not a fan of President Obama. I never was.
Why?
I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris.
Hang on. Why are you not a fan of it? Because I told you why.
Well, there was several things that I didn't care for. First of all, when he wanted to give daylight between us and Israel, if I can give a quick background, I'm adopted and raised by a Jewish family. I did not care for that statement. That was basically in my opinion, an FU to the country of Israel. I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate the devaluing of the need for police. Yes, police do a lot of things that maybe they shouldn't, but I still feel that the human race is a bit out of control, and the police force should still be loved and respected. I know there's prick cops, but I still believe you have to have law and order. So I didn't care for that.
There's a prick cop in here in Louisville, because I didn't politically line up with him, tried to bring me down.
Right.
A sheriff who now has a 1,000-yard restraining order against him because he would go on podcast and lie about me. So I called his sheriff's department.
Right.
And I told him what the fuck he was doing, that he was doing it under a phony name. Right. And I told him the racist shit that he would sit here on my porch and say. Right. And he was going by the name of Sheriff Wydat. Do you know why he was using the name Sheriff Wydat?
Why that?
Because he thought it was funny the way black people talk. And I said, "You need to get off my fucking porch."
Another class act. But to finish my point,
another class act. Not that they're all like that.
No,
but
they are not. They are not.
Hang on. As we've said in the wrestling business, if you're covering up for bad cops, you're a bad cop.
Right. I agree.
If you're covering up for bad wrestlers, you might not know the facts. You might not have saw or witnessed anything. But if you saw and witnessed, and I had a wrestler contact me the other day, about 2 weeks ago, and he tells me that he's driving the car of one of the wrestlers who is abusing underage girls in the back seat of his car. But he wanted me to rat him out. I said, well, I wasn't in the car doing the driving. You were.
Right.
Back in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
He's the one driving the fucking car, saw the shit going on. Oh, well, I'll get all kinds of heat if I do it.
There you go.
And this is a guy who was in the WWE for quite some time.
Right.
Admitted that he drove a wrestler around who was abusing underage girls in the backseat of his car. That's his fucking job. He saw it. I'm second, third, fourth party, whatever. What? Third party, I guess.
Understood.
So no, you fucking rat him out. And man, he had a list of names of big fucking stars that have been in WCW and the WWE, wanted me to go on my podcast and rat him out based on his word.
Right.
Well, no, you need to go on somebody's podcast. You saw it, not me.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. But to finish my point.